Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode we are talking about Houston defensive tackle Ed Oliver in terms of his analytics profile. If you are new to the channel, new to the work that I do, all terms and definitions will be in the description. Of all this stuff out of the way, let's get to Ed Oliver's profile. So first off, he had a 99.01 solo tackle score, a 94.34 sack score, and a 95.50 tackle for loss score. When you look at the all-pro thresholds at the 4-3 defensive tackle position, he doesn't quite hit every single all-pro threshold at that position, which I do think I do need to update in the future because of recent tackles here and there. But he does hit all the Pro Bowl thresholds. He does hit all the starter thresholds. And when we look at the averages at the position, when you look at the all-pro averages, the Pro Bowl averages, and even the starter averages, Ed Oliver is way above all those areas. So even though Ed Oliver is not hitting every single mark he needs to hit right on the dot, he is pretty close. So I would still say he has all-pro potential based on his production profile, even though he isn't hitting the upper echelon, I guess, in terms of solo tackle data. Still great data all around when it comes to his production profile. And when you look at him in terms of athleticism, he had a 96.86 explosion score, a 98.14 speed score, and a 99.19 flexibility score. The speed and flexibility score were taken from the Pro Day, so take these numbers with a grain of salt. But the explosion score did come from the Combine. And all these numbers are also adjusting for Ed Oliver going into the Pro Day at 281 pounds versus 287 pounds, which is what he was at the Combine. So again, this is basically adjusting for some of those little things that happen every year. Every year a player is like gaining weight and dropping weight and doing all that kind of stuff, trying to trick the system. You're not going to trick me, bud. But still, regardless of the numbers, if Ed Oliver went to his Pro Day and ran 4.8, it still would be he would still have a great speed score and a great flexibility score at the position. In terms of a production comp for him, Russell Maryland is probably the closest sort of production comp I could really find. Maryland is better in terms of solo tackle data and tackle for loss data, but still great profile for a guy like Ed Oliver to be with a guy like Russell Maryland, in terms of his production profile. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with Ed Oliver in terms of his production. It's great, it's fantastic, and Russell Maryland was a very, very good defensive tackle at the NFL level. When you look at athleticism comparisons, I would say the closest one is Geno Atkins. Now, Ed Oliver is much more athletic than Geno Atkins from an explosion standpoint, but they're very similar in terms of speed and flexibility, and they also have very similar body types and similar question marks about size and those types of things, because Geno Atkins was someone that didn't have the height that people were looking for, and of course look at where he is now. Overall, when it comes to Ed Oliver, it's clear to see that he should be considered one of the best prospects in the 2019 NFL draft class. He's definitely someone worthy of a top 3 to number 1 overall status, depending on the position and depending on what you need. But he just has I wouldn't say he has a perfect profile, of course, because no prospect really ever has a perfect profile, but it's darn near close to it. And you definitely know, based on the production and based on the athleticism data, that this is not a can't-miss prospect. This is definitely a prospect that you will not find in next year's class. You probably won't find him in the year after that. And you probably won't find him until 3, 4, 5 classes down the line. He's definitely one of those players, and I don't like to say generational prospect, but he's definitely one of those players that you won't find in every draft class. You're going to have to wait a bit to get another Ed Oliver. So, overall, good profile, and I'm very excited to see where he gets drafted and what actually happens with him long term in the future. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn@wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter @Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification bell in case you want to be reminded when another video of mine drops. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.